Ranger. Hi-Yo Silver! A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-Yo Silver. The Lone Ranger.
Well, I guess it's time for you to go into your speech, Warden.
I'm not going to make any speech, Mason. After 10 years in prison, you should know better than anyone the reasons for staying out of one.
I'm not figuring on coming back.
I'd like to think you won't. But you've never shown any sign of repenting your crimes.
Well, I'll tell you this much, Warden. I'm not planning any new ones.
What do you mean by that?
You figure it out. So long, Warden.
Hello, Raw.
Hello, Dave.
Say, I got your letter. I've been waiting here all morning for you. But you ain't changed much. Maybe a little older, that's about all.
I haven't changed, Dave. Haven't changed a bit. Yeah, but it's good to breathe that free air again.
Gosh,
after all this time in stir.
I don't see how you stood it. 10 years, enough to kill a man.
Wasn't so bad, Dave. A man can stand anything when he has a reason to. Listen, I got busted out of that place plenty of times. But I wanted to sit tight until that express robbery and my part in it was forgotten.
Hey, you ain't planning on going straight, are you?
I wouldn't put it that way, Dave. Let's just say I'm going to retire on the fruits of my past efforts.
Yeah, but it takes money to do that.
That's right, Dave. But I got money. You remember that Glenville bank robbery about 10 years ago? The one that was never solved?
Yeah, I remember. Somebody got away with $100,000.
That's right. I was the man.
You?
The law never pinned that crime on me. And they never knew what happened to the money. But I know where it is, because I hid it just a month before I was caught. I'm going back now and get that money. And I'm going to clear out the territory. Go where no one will know me. How do you see what I mean by retiring?
That's why you never broke out of the pen. You're always figuring on that.
That's right. I always knew my little nest egg was waiting for me, and I wanted to be in a position to enjoy it.
Where'd you hide it?
You'll find out when the right time comes. You bring the horses?
Yeah, they're over there. Say, I bought something else I thought you'd want.
Well, thanks, Dave. But we're all through with those. Guns can bring trouble with the law. And I want them to think of me as a nice, peaceful, respectable citizen. Give me your gun. If they're watching us, this will make a good impression.
Why Mason threw a gun away? Do you think him planned to go straight?
I doubt that, Tonto. Ross Mason is a hardened criminal. It's more likely he wants the law to think he's going straight. Did Mason tell you where he was headed?
No. And of course, he's free to go anywhere he chooses now.
Well, Tonto and I are going to follow him. I want to see if he heads for Glenville.
Do you still think Mason's involved in that Glenville bank robbery years ago?
I've always suspected it. It's just the kind of lone wolf job he liked to do.
Yeah, at the time, a lot of other people thought Mason was guilty. Figured he'd hidden the cash somewhere, but that was so long ago, most everyone's forgotten about it.
Maybe Mason count on that.
That's right, Tonto. But unsolved crimes are a double threat to order and progress in the West. It encourages other men to break the law.
It would mean a lot if you could clear up that Glenville bank robbery and recover the cash.
We'll try.
Good luck.
Thank you.
For several days, the Lone Ranger and Tonto followed the trail of Ross Mason and his partner, Dave. To avoid being seen, they stayed several miles behind. On the afternoon of the third day, after a brief stop at a country store to buy a shovel, the outlaws arrived at a spot in the country near Glenville.
Doesn't look any different than it did 10 years ago.
This the spot? This where it is, Ross?
Not far from here, just beyond that big rock there. Get the shovel. We'll leave the horses here.
Hey, Ross, what'd you do, Barry?
That's right. Buried in the good old Mother Earth. The safest bank in the world. I've been dreaming about this day for 10 years, Dave.
Well, what's wrong? Well, what's the matter?
That house. That's where I buried the dough. Right where it's standing.
You sure?
Everything else is the same. The rock, that stream over there. Wait a minute. There was a big oak tree 30 feet from where I buried the dough. I don't see that.
Well, maybe they cut it down. Maybe we can find a stump.
Going to town back at 4, Frank Carlson.
Hey, look at there. What do we do now?
Here's the oak, or what's left of it. They did cut it down. That money was buried 30 feet from this oak in a straight line with that rock back there.
Hey, place looks kind of new, don't it?
Yeah, it's so new this living room floor is right smack over that $100,000.
They're coming here.
Yeah, and we got no guns. We better get out of here. We'll pick up what we need in town and come back later and do this job right. Let's straighten up.
Door open. Frank, look!
Hey! Hey there!
They've been in the house. Nothing seems to have been touched in here. How about the bedroom?
Well, the bedroom hasn't been disturbed. There's nothing in there they'd want anyway.
Look, I found this in the front yard. It doesn't seem to be ours.
It's not ours. There's something funny about this. I never heard of burglars carrying a shovel.
Oh, Frank, I'm worried.
Oh, now, don't get upset, Martha. They were probably a couple of tramps looking for a handout.
Tramps don't carry shovels.
Oh, now, Martha.
Well, we're so far from town here. What's the matter?
Over here behind the door. Now, you stay behind me, Martha.
Hello? There must be someone here. The buggy's in the front yard. Perhaps there's something wrong.
All right, mister, stand still.
There's no need for that. We're friends.
Yeah, that mask looks real friendly. Now get your hands up. Take the guns, Martha. Turn around, Indian.
If our intentions were not peaceful, we wouldn't have come in the way we did, with our guns in our holsters.
That may be so, but I'm not taking any chances. Now you turn around. Find some rope, Martha. We'll tie these fellows up, then take them to the sheriff.
You made a mistake, Mrs. Carlson. Never cross in front of a man who's covered.
Now maybe we'll find out what this is all about.
First, I'd like to return your rifle.
Well, what's the idea?
To show that we're not enemies.
Who are you?
My identity doesn't matter. The important thing is you believe in us and are willing to help us if you can.
Well, what do you want?
My friend and I have been trying to clear up an unsolved bank robbery. We trailed 2 men to this area. We would like to know if you've seen any suspicious strangers around.
You're the most suspicious one I've seen.
Now, Martha, take it easy. These men may be all right. Oh, I don't know if it means anything, but somebody broke into our house while we were gone today. We scared them off when we got home, but they didn't take anything.
There's nothing around here worth stealing, and unless you want my china breakfast set.
I don't want anything from you, Mrs. Carlson, except information.
You get a look at these men?
Just a glimpse. I don't know if I could identify them, but one of them had a limp.
A limp?
Another thing that struck me funny, we found this shovel lying in our front yard when we got home. They must have brought it. Seemed kind of peculiar to me. I never heard of tramps or burglars carrying a shovel. Mean anything to you?
Could mean a great deal, but I'm not sure yet.
Which way men go when them leave?
They took off into the trees.
Thank you. You've both been very helpful.
You think the prowlers are the men you're looking for?
I'm not sure, but if they are, I'll be back.
I don't trust those two.
I don't know, Martha. Somehow I got a feeling that big fellow's honest.
Then why does he wear a mask?
I admit that's kind of strange.
There've just been too many strange things going on around here. I'm going to pick up Tommy at school and take him over to my sister's.
That's a good idea. And you stay there with him.
And leave you here all by yourself? I should say not. I'm coming right back.
Martha, I'm ordering you to stay at your sister's tonight. Here. You take this with you, just in case.
Very well, Frank.
And you stay there until I call for you.
All right, Frank.
You think these men we after?
It looks that way, Tonto. Carlson said one of them limped, and we know that Mason was headed for this area.
But why them break into farmer's house and then run away when no one come home?
There's one possible explanation. But the first thing for us to do is to locate Mason. I want you to ride into Glenville and try to find him. Chances are he's registered at the hotel. Try to find out what he's up to, then report back to me.
Me sabe.
I'll stay here and keep an eye on the Carlson place.
What do you want?
Me look for Mr. Brown. Him live here?
There's no Mr. Brown here.
Me sorry.
Hello, Dave. Come on in.
Who was that Indian?
Yeah, he's looking for somebody. Got the wrong room. That the guns there?
Yeah.
I was hoping we wouldn't have to use these, Dave. But there comes a time when a six-shooter's the only answer to a problem.
You figuring on gunning Carlson and his wife?
Listen, Dave, I spent 10 years in the pen just waiting for the day I'd get out and get my hands on that dough. Nothing's gonna stop me now. Nothing.
When do we start?
We'll wait till after dark. Farmer and his wife are sure to be home by then.
Look, why don't we just watch the place till they go away again, then do the job?
Because they may have seen us today, and I'm not leaving any evidence or possible witnesses behind.
I know, but we may have to rip that whole place apart to get after that money. Gunning Carlson and his wife ain't gonna get rid of that evidence.
Use your head, Dave. After we leave that place, there's gonna be a little fire. And when the neighbors get there, all they'll find is a burned-down farmhouse and a couple of unfortunate victims. It's that simple.
Me find Mason at hotel with partner. Me hear them talk.
What did you learn?
Them after money like you think, it buried under house.
So that's it. Carlson built his house on the very spot where Mason buried the money.
Them plan come back, dig up money, kill farmer and wife, then burn down house.
That sounds like Mason in the ruthless way he's always worked.
Them desperate, Kimasabi. What we do?
There's no point in capturing him. We couldn't prove anything against him. We just put him on his guard.
And we not know for sure where money buried. If him on guard, we never learn.
We'll have to wait till Mason gets his hands on the money before capturing him.
But them plan murder, Kimasabi. How we stop that?
I can only see one way. Come on, we'll have another talk with Frank Carlson.
so you did come back.
Yes. Where's Mrs. Carlson?
Oh, she's going to stay at her sister's tonight with our kid.
Good. She'll be much safer there.
Sounds like you're expecting trouble.
That's right. Lots of trouble.
What's up?
Mr. Carlson, those men who broke into your place today, they were after a fortune, a hidden fortune buried underneath your house.
A hidden fortune?
$100,000 that was stolen from the Glenville Bank 10 years ago.
Now, hold on. I don't know what you're getting at, mister, but this house hasn't been here for 10 years. I built it myself 6 years ago.
I know, but you built it over the spot where the money was buried.
Man who bury it been in prison. Him come back today and find your house here.
That's right. And he's coming back again in a very short while with a friend.
You mean they're coming here to get the money?
Yes. Only the criminals know exactly where it is. We'll have to let them dig it up, then capture them with the evidence.
Well, I don't know what to think.
If you'll leave it to us, my friend and I can handle the situation. I'd like you to ride into town and get the sheriff.
Well, what are you going to do?
I'm going to stay here and meet these men when they arrive. But I'll be disguised as you. Tonto will be hidden outside where he can watch what goes on. When the crooks get their hands on the money, he'll move in.
It sounds kind of risky for you.
I don't mind taking risks if it helps rid the West of men like Ross Mason.
Mister, I may be taking a chance, but I'm going to play along with you. I think you're on the level.
Thanks, Mr. Carlson. Now, if I may borrow some clothes.
Why, certainly.
Tonto, get my saddlebags.
In here. Carlson?
Who wants him?
May we come in? We've lost our way.
Certainly.
My name's Smith. We'd like to get directions to Glenville. Saw your name in the mailbox.
Go about a mile down the road and turn right. It'll take you right into Glenville.
Well, thanks very much, but we're all so tired and hungry. Would it be asking too much of your wife to fix us a bite to eat? We'd be glad to pay.
I'm sorry. Mrs. Carlson isn't in. She's gone for the night.
Well, that makes things a lot easier. Suppose you get over in that chair and sit down.
What is this?
Just do what you're told. Bring in the tools, Dave, and some rope to tie this bird up. We're going to do a little excavating, Mr. Carlson, right in your front room.
I don't understand.
You will.
Hey, coming, Ross.
We're getting there. Now, you take it a while.
All right. Ross, I think I hit something. Yep, here it is.
Here she is, Dave. 100,000 in cold cash.
Gosh.
Let's get out of here. We want a real good fire. Spread some of that kerosene around.
Stand still, Indian. Drop that gun. And the belt. Hurry.
You make big mistake.
No, you're the one that made the mistake. I knew you weren't to be trusted. You are that masked man. It's a good thing I came back when I did. Now get in the house. Frank! What?
I'll take this. Don't move, either one of you. Mrs. Carlson, I assume.
Why, yes, I am.
Hey, Ross. This Indian, he's the one we saw at the hotel.
Yeah, you're right. He must have been snooping around outside, heard what we said. Well, now, isn't this real nice? We've got all three witnesses together. Frank, Martha, and the Injun. Tie him up, Dave.
Get over there, both of you.
All right, sit down.
Sorry to do it this way, friends. But I wouldn't want the coroner to find you'd been shot to death. They're tied good enough. Come on, Dave, bring that money.
Ross, the money!
Quick, put this fire out!
Get up, Mason. Keep your hands up, both of you. Nice work, Tonto. Are you all right, Mrs. Carlson?
Yes, I'm all right.
That must be your husband now with the sheriff.
So long, Sheriff. Don't let those hombres get away. Well, Martha, got things straightened out now?
I guess so. When I think of what I almost did with my silly suspicions.
You thought you were right, and you showed a lot of courage.
There's only one thing wrong with this. Looks like I'll have to put a new floor in this house.
Now I'll have to have new curtains and... Well, there goes what little we've been able to save.
You'll be able to buy quite a few curtains, Mrs. Carlson, with what you have coming to you now. When the money's returned to the bank, there'll be a very generous reward.
Oh, but you and your Indian friend are entitled to that.
Tonto and I don't work for that kind of reward. We're happy to have cleared up an unsolved crime. You and your husband supplied the first lead and helped capture the crooks. I'm sure the bank will show its appreciation.
Besides, money under your house.
Did you hear that, Frank? We'll get the reward. We can get a new stove, and you can get that easy
I
chair.
heard something else, too. That masked man called his Indian friend Tonto. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
Tonto?
Well, that ought to let you know who the masked man is. Listen, you'll hear him call. Then you'll know him for sure.
Hail Silver! Away!